So welcome back to the time trials at the 30th Henley Women's Regatta, and the next time trial this morning, which is the penultimate time trial, is for senior quadruple sculls, and the second fastest boat category we have apart from eights, and you can see there the De Montfort University, De Montfort of course based in Leicester, De Montfort University quadruple scull. You'll see some slightly higher ratings, I think you'll find, than we had in the double sculls and maybe even the club fours. Beautiful watching a quadruple scull that's nicely together. And they're going off the start is University of London, number 159. Absolute unity is what's required at every millimetre of the stroke. And because the boats are so fast, a huge amount of skill required. It looks very effortless and very simple, but it's actually very, very challenging to row a quadruple scull well. It's also a very forgiving sort of boat, so many of us who enjoy a bit of recreational rowing often go out quadruple sculling because we can kid ourselves usually that we're going a lot faster than we actually are. Sheffield University there. Just now heading off Newcastle University, one of the other GB start centres. So again, these young ladies would have done a great deal of sculling. And they're going off at 38, just now clearing the top of the island, Temple Island. Sheffield University there. Rating at 36, which is a very good cruising rate. Interesting to see if they can maintain that throughout the whole course. Newcastle University there. Settled into rating 34. And in these quadruple sculls, one of the crew, very often the bow one, the first one we come to, will have the rudder attached to their stretcher board or foot plate, and that will swivel to the left and right, and that will move the rudder. But Newcastle University steering absolutely dead straight. Reading University A crew. Going over at 35.5. As we watch Bath University getting down towards the finish. They've taken their rate up to 36s, trying to drive it up. I can see Stroke trying to drive it up there. It's gone up to 38s. And there is University of London also coming down from our finish camera. That's De Montfort University, I'm sorry, De Montfort University there, just crossing the timing mark at the finish. Kingston Rowing Club. Many people change their club colours over the years and the style of their singlets. Kingston looking pretty much as they did for as long ago as anybody can remember. Their distinctive red and white hoops. Just coming off towards the end of Temple Island. Rating at 35, that's Kingston. And that's my colleague who's operating the drone just across the river from here, and off they go again. Headington School coming down from the end of the island. Headington School, the most successful junior women's club in the country, recently retained their title at the National Schools Regatta, but this is their quadruple scull. They're rating 37 as they come away from Temple Island. Headington School based up at Oxford. Reading University's B crew there. Or is it Oxford Brooks? We'll see again in a moment when the camera gets back on them. Headington School again. Oxford Brooks University. Off the start. Rating 38. Getting into their stride. Settling into their race pace. Just passing the end of Temple Island. And settling down to a rate of 34.5. One of the other things to look out for is you're looking at crews, can't particularly pick it up. From the aerial shot, you can pick out how uniform the blades are at feathering and squaring. Feather, square, feather, square. The more uniform it is, then the less the boat is braked while the sculls are out of the water, and the more the power goes on there. They're absolutely together. And of course, the same thing applies. It's helpful if at the finish of the stroke there, the power comes off together. But when we see a shot down from the cameras that are on the course side, one of the things we look out for is the speed at which the sculls or the blades go through the water. And many times it's not so much how many strokes a minute you do, but the speed at which you can get them through the water. Brilliant. Lovely shot there. Lovely shot there, watching the start. Edinburgh University. Also these days, a GB Start Centre. Again, settling at 34.5 strokes a minute. Misidentified that. That was not Edinburgh University, that was Nottingham Rowing Club. My apologies to Nottingham Rowing Club. One would have thought, after all these years, that I would know Nottingham Rowing Club. Just down the road from, of course, the National Water Sports Centre at Nottingham. That's Oxford Brookes. Very powerful quartet. Beautifully together. What I'm trying to look for is that the pace of the blade at the end of the scull increases from the beginning to the end of the stroke. And one of the things you can usually find when 2 or 3 coaches are gathered together is they will be arguing about how best to achieve that. Just off the start now, Nottingham Trent. Rating at 37. Mortlake Anglian and Alpha. On the Mortlake Anglian and Alpha lawn, that the prizes are presented at the end of the boat race every year. $32.5 for the Mortlake Anglian crew. Meantime, heading off for the start is Guildford Rowing Club. Located just on the outskirts of Guildford, but again with only quite a short stretch of water to train on. We watch Mortlake Anglian and Alpha going down towards the Copus offices and the boating area. And the final of a senior quadruple scull in this time trial heads off to try and get into the last 16 this afternoon. Henley Rowing Club, again based just by Henley Bridge or just above Henley Bridge, so they should know this water extremely well. Pick up that Mortlake Anglian and Alpha crew again. Alpha Ladies Rowing Club was one of the original founders of women's rowing in the United Kingdom pretty much 100 years ago, and they combined, Mortlake and Anglian came together in the 60s and they combined with Alpha in the 1980s, and over the years have had lots of success. The long distance shot there of the Guildford crew, that's the Nottingham quartet, or quad, just now heading down towards the finish. So as these quadruple sculls come to the end of their time trial, we await the last time trial, which is the academic Coxed Fours time trial, which is due to start at 12 o'clock.
Happy?
Yeah, fine. Good. I can say what I can do is when they finish at 12 o'clock, I'll come down and pick up the results. Because I want to come down and pick up a sandwich.
Yeah, do that. Yeah. Whatever's it, yeah. We'll get it fine-tuned for tomorrow, but they're a day behind.
No, I understand. No, it all seems to be because we've only got the one picture. It actually, even on the time trials, it's okay because you can identify the crews.
That's what I was doing this morning.
Yeah.
Once I knew blade colours,
Yeah, that's right.
I could just,
Yeah,
I heard you say,
my encyclopedia of blade colours is a lot less complete than it used to be.
But once you've got it, there's those 5 going down the track.
Yeah, that's right. It's making sure you identify the ones with the white blades correctly.
Yeah,
they're the boogers, aren't they?
And the Glasgow Academicals this morning, black all-in-ones and white blades.